Hello and welcome to IRL F4 Season 8 Round 2, and we're here in Italy, the Temple of Speed. I am Sandro Sorau, joined by Jared Fosbury for commentary today.
Good evening, guys.
And Monza, Jared. What a track. One of the most historic tracks on the calendar, what do you think is going to be the key for the drivers here today?
Well, to perfect a quality lap, run lowest downforce you can, and just get a clean lap, and hopefully the race weather is dry and just don't bin it in Ascari like a few people may do.
Don't bin in Ascari. Well, I'm going to tell you that's it's not always too easy, to be honest. An easy corner to either invalidate on, run a little wide, or simply in the end just spin, so gonna be interesting to see. Nonetheless, though, the drivers are getting ready for their quali laps. I am looking at Anton right now in his Mercedes. There is one driver ahead of him, I'm not sure who that is. The Renault, that would be
race winner, I believe,
Louis Vassman, so he might be able to make it 2 in a row. However, I think there is a couple of drivers who will challenge him for that. As we see Anton going down into turn 1, I'm not gonna lie, I think he might have gone onto his lap a little too closely to Louis Vassman and could experience some dirty air here, or could even experience catching Vassman on his lap if he's being quicker, but hopefully it'll go clean as he's heading through this second chicane here now. You know that there is one corner on this track I can never remember what's name it is, Jared, and that is that second chicane. You have any idea?
No, I don't actually with the name. I don't usually go by the name, I usually go by turns, like the number.
The boring way.
Hit the boring way. Did Anton's gone.
Ooh.
And Louis invalidated.
Aye. Unlucky there, unlucky. We're gonna jump over to Louis Quinlan, who's not using his ERS, so I don't think he is on a lap. And as Adrian is out, and I believe
he's
gone out in Lesmo 2 actually. What about Thomas Mumford? He's on a lap, he's heading down towards Ascari. One of the key corners for this track. Extremely easy to invalidate on, as we can see that Jan Sammer has just joined the session, so he won't be able to do his quali laps, but he will be there for the race.
That's true, and also we've seen Shane at the provisional pole position lap time with a 120.787, and then Luke Quinlan takes second with a 133.4, which isn't a representative lap time.
I will have to admit, I think he aborted this lap, and as I go over to Ryan, he has invalidated his lap. So right now, let's look at Quinlan. Quinlan is pushing a little more now, so I do think this is the lap we're gonna see him actually putting up a representative lap, if he gets it together, of course.
He is purple in sector 1 right now, so it is good, and he should be purple in sector 1, especially against Shane's mediums. I think these F4 drivers, I was going to say go into the low 19s, but Louis just done a 118.6, so even better than from the drivers. And Louis unfortunately invalidates through Ascari.
Unlucky. Let's head over to Ryan then. As there is, he should be on a lap 2 heading into Ascari, and invalid we go. I have a feeling we're gonna see more of those today. You have a new driver on the grid this week, though. That would be Patrick Sonius. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that, as he's invalidated his lap actually. Or he should be going on to a lap maybe. I think he's gone on to a track. Patrick, who is in the racing point today. As he locks up a little in turn 1. Well, what do you say, Jared? Who's your guess for pole position? Lewis Vassman is looking strong right now, but then again, not a lot of drivers who set their time yet either.
Well, if I was on the track, it would be me first, but
coming from the driver in F5.
Agreed. But no, I think Louis is going to top the timing sheets in qualifying. I think he's going to take first, with Anton a very close second. With Sam Pike, who did very well in the surprising result in Canada. But we also could see ILRT Dashi, who has made it in the quali and joined in the quali, as he is in the Mercedes, currently waiting on the medium compound tyres, as Patrick Lewis has invalidated his flying lap.
Ah, unlucky, unlucky. Let's see then, what about Jamie? He has just started his lap in his Haas, coming through turn 1. Variante della Roggia is what the second chicane there is named. I had to look it up. Can never remember it, so but I got a little triggered, like wanting to know. So nonetheless, we can see him now through Lesmo 1, then heading into Lesmo 2, then out onto the long straight before Ascari. Seen multiple drivers invalidate here already today. We might see another one. It looks like he's getting through fine, as was that Mumford standing in the gravel on the exit there.
Yeah, I think he manually retired before he got disqualified, or that was just one of his wheels fell off. I don't know.
Unlucky. Nonetheless, Jamie overline to set a 1:19.6. Which puts him third at the moment. Adam Corrigan is not on the lap.
Although the other runner driver, James, is currently purple in sector 1. His teammates just behind him. Maybe a little crafty slipstream, maybe, as these two did work perfectly as a team last weekend, as they got first and third. I wonder if we can see another 1-2 hopefully for him, or 1-3, another podium finish for them this week, Sandra, as he's purple in sector 2 as well.
Ronan has just invalidated. So we'll find our way to James to follow him over line then as he heads towards Parabolica. Not the trickiest corner, but you can actually lose quite a lot of time if you don't hit that apex there, Jared.
Yeah, I did feel that in the FP grid when I did my play runs.
And a 19-1 by James, which does put him in second. What about Shane? He's out on his second lap of the day. Heading into Ascari, maybe a little bit wide in the second part of Ascari there.
Oh.
A little bit unsteady on the exit too. Then now out of Parabolica to cross the line to set a 1:19.7, which puts him 6th. Gotta admit, Jared, it's fairly close between everyone except for Lewis Vassman at the moment. He seems to be just a tad bit ahead of the rest right now.
That's true. However, Sam Pike did do a 19.8 on medium, so I think he can go at least a second quicker, maybe more. On
that's true actually. Didn't notice that, so well spotted. And I will expect to see an 18 lap from Villa at some point. However, right now following Patrick as he's heading through Ascari, trying to get a clean run, looking a little too cautious as he's trying to pick up a small slipstream from Jan Samer, I think. And then Patrick heading towards the line to set a 120.1, which puts him in 8th at the moment. What about Anton? He's heading through the first chicane. Might be getting a small slipstream from Louis there. I'm not quite sure. Louis has actually gone to 2nd with a 19.1, Jared.
Wow, I'm definitely surprised at that, especially when he's made his comeback.
Oh, and the back end loss and an invalidated lap time for Anton.
That's a shame now. Well, I've got to say, I'm really surprised with Louis doing a 19.1. He hasn't been this competitive since season 6, so it's good to see him near the top in Italy today.
Unless Ross Denholm has also invalidated. Typical Monza, I guess. What about Ronan Connolly? As he's heading towards turn 1 and 2. Looking like he's getting a fairly decent run through there. Oh yeah. Now towards you just saw it, yeah. Now we're running through the second chicane here. It has a purple first sector, however, just like in the previous game, those sectors that are purple on our screen isn't necessarily correct every time. As he's now heading towards Ascari. Probably the most crucial place to get everything right on everyone's lap, as he's looking like he's having a good run through here, Jared.
Nice and stable way through Ascari then as he's coming out to the final corner.
Parabolica, and on the exit, can he manage to fight for pole? I think it's going to be a bit behind, but it's going to be a 1:19.2, which puts him in 4th. And the battle for 2nd at the moment is getting quite tighter.
Yeah, I've got to agree, unfortunately the battle for the first is not getting tighter though.
Nah, and I am looking at Villa right now, who's sitting in 8th, who's actually gone in as he had invalidated his lap. Louis Vassman is out on track though, and he has invalidated his lap.
Yeah, I've got to say that's 2 soft runs after he did his best lap in 18.6 and he's invalidated. So I think the best probably lap he could do now is an 18.5, maybe an 18.4. His best, as I think he was pretty happy with the first lap he did. Since he's got a bit of a big gap to Louis and James, and a very big gap to possibly a championship rival of Villa in 8th place.
True. Nonetheless, we're following Ivan King on his lap as he's heading through this second chicane, then heading towards Lesmo 1. Oh, and is going way too wide there. And I will assume that he's gonna abort that lap then. Jan Samer is about to start a lap, I believe. Can you actually still do quali, even though if you're joining mid-quali on this game, Jared?
Yeah, you can do qualify now since you joined mid-game, but there's a little glitch sometimes where you can do your qualifying lap. It'll put you in a position where you qualify, but in the race, it'll possibly put you further down where you actually are, or even worse, put you at the back of the grid, which unfortunately happened with the FPT of Harry Cooper, who qualified 15th, and then in the race was 19th.
I see. Well, I do have to say that joining mid-quali, that you can actually do quali then now, that's a good thing, but they haven't gotten it completely right then, with you just ending at the back of the grid anyway. As Jan has invalidated his time. What about Anton? He's invalidated. Shane is on a lap.
Oh, Kieran's made it. It's good to see. That moves out of the way. Didn't affect Shane's lap. Shane's been nice and tidy in his lap so far. He's had a bit more extra practice than everybody else here. He just did do the FP. He's shown that his teammate Brandon unfortunately lagged out. Hopefully he can make it back before the race. Yellow flags in the Ascari. There is a massive load of cars everywhere.
It reminds me of Monza in real life last year. Seeing all of these cars there, hopefully... Shane backed off.
Yeah, he went to 0 ERS. I hope that didn't affect his lap. If he goes back to 2. He's pitting. So I think that ruined his lap.
Well, I do believe he was about 4 tenths down before Ascari, so he could have just actually not have gained any time in Ascari and aborted too.
True. As we're on Jamie, I believe, right now.
We are on Jamie right now. As pretty much everyone right now is out on track trying to get their last run in. As the session timer is out and everyone on laps will be able to finish, but nobody can start a lap now. Look at Jamie, I think he might be getting a little too close to that Ferrari. This could hurt him pretty badly in the Ascari, to be honest. As, Ronan is out. As the Ferrari goes wide and Jamie also goes wide. What about Will? He's on a lap. He's yet to set a lap on the soft tires. Only been able to set a lap on medium so far. However, he's heading for Ascari. And that's invalidated.
I thought you were going to sneeze then.
I thought I was going to sneeze too. Nonetheless, Patrick heading towards the line, and it's a 19.5 and up into 6th for him. Villa has invalidated. I don't believe anyone is on laps then. So we have Louis Wasman on pole.
Very dominant pole as well. Big margin to the guy in second place.
It was a pretty dominant pole in the end, as we can see him taking pole 6 tenths ahead of Louis Quinlan in second, then James in third, then we have Ronan Connolly in fourth, before we have Adam Corrigan in fifth, then it is Patrick Sonius in sixth, Jamie in seventh, then Shane in eighth, Ville in ninth, and Ryan in 10th. Outside of the top 10 we have Ross Denholm and Ivan King in 11th and 12th, then you have Anton Ruho, Brandon, then Kieran, and then it was Thomas Mumford, Adrian, and Jan Hammer. And well, it was a pretty dominant pole from Louis Wasman in the end, as you said, Jared, but I do think there is a couple of the guys who could have gotten closer than they did in the end, if they actually got their last lap in though, but was a lot of invalidations and bottles at the end there, so we'll have to wait and see what happens in the race now.
That's true, and hopefully we have no glitches or anything with the qualifying.
Well, I mean, F1 2020, I think we would be lucky if we didn't get one glitch at least. Unfortunately, but that's what it's come to in the end, I think.
Indeed.
But it looks like everyone is on the grid at least. And the lights have gone out for the formation lap too, so it's a good start.
And everyone is in the correct grid spots, except Brandon Zayas in 17th. Unfortunately, he can't
As we're getting the predicted pit stop strategy to be soft to medium with the pit window on lap 11/12. We also saw that the secondary strategy was soft to hard, so one stop anyway, and I'm not gonna lie, will be surprised by anyone who goes on hards then. But nonetheless, Jared, your podium prediction?
I'm going to stick out as sore thumb. Louis is going to take the win, I think. With James, I think, close second, with Vil third, and possibly Louis Quinlan fourth in the McLaren.
So Lewis for the win.
Yeah.
And in second you said?
James.
1-2, 1-2. Not a bad guess, not a bad guess. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put some faith into Louis' experience and say that Louis takes the win. Louis takes second, and in third we get Villa starting in 9th on his medium tires.
Could be a good shout, actually.
Although there is a couple of other guys flying under radar down the field too. We didn't get to see much of either Thomas Mumford, Anton, Jan Samer or Kieran's pace, so could be some of them that have good pacer too, so I think we'll just have to wait and see. And of course you can never forget about the possibility of a safety car, especially here in Italy.
That is true.
As the cars have lined up on the grid and we're waiting on the lights. Actually waiting on a good camera angle too, and there we go, 5 red lights, and away we go. And it looks like a pretty good start from Louis Quinlan in second. However, Lewis has actually gotten an amazing start in the end, but look further down though, as we can see that Adam and Patrick is going side by side. I see some wing damage for, I'm not sure who that was.
Oh no, one of the Mercs has had a bit of contact, I believe with Shane. And one of your podium predictions, Andre, is already in 16th, and that's Villa. No wing damage, and the wing damage was actually from Anton.
I still have faith. I still have faith. But look at this though. James is falling down here. I think James is the car who has wing damage. It doesn't appear to be him.
It's Anton in the Merc in P9.
Oh, there is somebody higher up that has wing damage too.
Oh, it's the front gone on. There's a massive crash. Kieran just avoided that, and Delta got a lot of wing damage on that end plate. And Adrian, yet again, was a bit of bad luck and drops all the way to 17th with.
Adam Corrigan, very unsteady on that rear end out of Ascari, as he's under a lot of pressure from both Jamie, James, and Patrick behind him. However, Lewis and Louis both have managed to pull a little away from the rest of the field right now. And now I believe the timings are gonna start messing up as usual.
Ryan Kaya gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit, so he is replacing his wing damage then, what he had. Same Invasion's got a 5-second penalty. A lot of people getting 5-second penalties already, Sondre, just speeding into the pit lane.
It's not a good way to start, but I would love for the timings to actually correct it itself soon though. And I think it might have done that now, and as we can see, the two in the front with gaps in between them. Then we have Adam in third, who's having to fend off Jamie, James and Patrick, before there is a little bit more of a gap to the first medium runners of Ross Denholm and Jan Samer. And Jan Samer, Jared, what a start. He's up to 8th already in his Merc there on the medium tires.
Yeah, I've got to say I was keeping an eye on him at the back, and he had an excellent start. He passed 2 cars already when the lights went out, and he's doing a very good job in 8th at the moment on the mediums, possibly in the best position. He needs to catch up with the Ferrari ahead, and if he wants to try and win this race, he's going to have to pull all the stops today. Ooh, Ryan's DNF.
Yes. Ooh, and that is unlucky for Ryan, and that is a virtual safety car. Ah, come on F1. Get rid of these virtual safety cars and give us the good old-fashioned safety car.
Nick Bomb speeds in the pits. That's unfortunate for him, as he'll be going on mediums.
I'm not gonna lie, it is a little bit of a tricky pit entry, but with like you accelerating out of Parabolica to then decelerate right before the pit entry. But Rhino, first DNF of the day.
Williams drive a sticky bomb or as Ronan, I believe, on hard tyres. He's on the right choice of tyre, because in FP I went on mediums on this lap and they wouldn't have made it to the end. They were at 80% on lap 20.
Well, no, on this lap you have to go on hard. As Ross Denholm is out, and that is out of Lesmo too, I believe.
Same place as Ryan.
However, though, after this safety car, virtual safety car restart, we can see that Louis has lost some time to Lewis. While Adam has managed to close that gap and gotten inside the RS, but Adam, though, under a lot of pressure from Jamie Griffiths around the outside in Parabolica. He's trying to hold it. He tucks back into the slipstream. As Jamie has DRS, he goes down the inside, heading towards turn 1. Can he make the move for the 3rd place? As he goes down the inside, but it goes way too deep, and Adam just keeps that position. Oh, and look at this. Now Jamie is under pressure. He's been passed by both James and Patrick and falls down into 6th place. As Patrick is trying to pass James, however, James manages to stay ahead here.
Jamie's got wing damage. He rear-ended the racing point. That is an end plate missing on the left side.
That is very unlucky for Jamie in the Haas then. However, though, this battle for 2nd place at the moment, Jared, it's looking like a great one. However, James has actually managed to lose DRS on the 2 guys in front of him. Looking at... Ooh! For a moment I thought we were gonna lose James out of the race completely there. Nonetheless, though, we're following Adam Corrigan right now, who's trying to apply some pressure onto Louis Quinlan. Louis Quinlan in that pretty 2nd place. Now Adam is gonna try to get a run on him. I think he's a little too far back to actually manage to get something going here, Jared. However, he's gonna look down the inside. But looking at Jamie trying to make the move on him the previous lap, he manages to not go too deep, but he actually ends a little out on the gravel on the exit, and now is under a lot of pressure from James in the Renault, who's trying to get himself back on the podium position. But James sits behind and waits for now. Oh, as I saw, who was that? I believe that was Jamie. Very unsteady in that second chicane.
Jimmy's almost gone in the gravel. Jimmy's in the gravel. Oh, Kieran almost hits him there. A bit of contact there between Jan Sammer there in the Mercedes. He was going on the outside, and just a little tap almost put Jamie into the wall.
Interesting. As we're following James now, and Adam really not looking comfortable in Ascari today, Jared. He's almost lost it a couple of times there. As Thomas Mumford is actually out in Ascari.
Fourth Alpha's struggling.
But as I was saying though, Adam, and it's another virtual.
Anyone pit? Yep, Kieran's in, so it is a good time to go in for medium tyres now. And James,
you sure about that, Jared? 21 laps on mediums?
Yeah, they can do it. I mind. I took them 20.
That is a stretch.
It is a push. I know Jamie possibly can do it. Kieran, on the other hand, I don't know. He ruined his hard tyres in the FP grid, so it's... Yeah.
Well,
Kieran's
you gotta remember, you can't compare FP that well to equal cars, though, as in FP the cars can also vary on how good the cars are on the tires, so I believe it should be like that at least.
I've got to say though, currently the pole position or race leader is on a mission right now. 3.6 seconds the gap is.
Oh, and look at this! James has had an amazing virtual safety car restart. He's absolutely slaughtered Adam on the straight down to Ascari as he's passed Adam and is now going after Louis Quinlan in second. Should be said though that James is not completely out of it. Adam is right there behind him, and Adam probably wants to get back ahead of him too.
And the next move on Delta for P11 before the Ascari, so that's good to see that Mercedes is on a flying mission right now.
Oh, James! He was wanting to do a move on Louis Quinlan there, but he just couldn't. However, look at Jan Sammer in that 6th place on his mediums though, Jared, as he's actually making the move around the outside in Curva Grande on Patrick. But look at him, Jared. He might be in the best position to challenge Lewis here today.
Yeah, I've got to agree. He's been dominant in the mediums right now. He's been a lot quicker than everybody else on the soft compound tyre. Kept out of any incidents, and the VSCs have been helping that, so he wears mediums too much, so he can save fuel in the RS and that, as he's catching up with this 3-way fight for P2 right now, and he needs to get past them as soon as possible.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, those soft tires are probably starting to feel a little worse now, so he would like to not get held up by them, but at the same time he's coming up to a 3-way battle between Louis Quinlan, James Turish and Adam Corrigan as Louis dives into the pit, so that leaves James in second for the moment then. Adam though trying to chase him down, Adam just not getting close enough to make him move.
We'll see where Louis comes out. Will he come out in traffic? I don't think he will.
As Jan Sammer has done the same move around Curva Grande on Adam Corrigan now. Moving himself up into 3rd place and on to chasing James. The question is though, how much longer are these soft tires gonna stay out? And the question is also, Jared, for James, knowing that Lewis is in front, but also knowing that Sammer is on a better strategy, do you think we might see a little bit of a Kimi Vettel situation there, where James would be staying out a little longer to try and just battle Sammer?
It could be a possibility if they don't want to double stack in the pits when they need to call their pit window. But I think because they have a 5.1 second gap, I think the double stack could work for them. So I don't think really he needs to do that. Is he really
Oh,
defending
nonetheless,
actually?
though, Jan Sammer, he's going for it now. He's gonna go down the inside on James here towards turn 1, and he's gotten past 2. Now the question is, though, can he stay with him and can he attack him back on the next straight?
I think those softs are completely gone. I think the Reynolds will peel into the pits this lap. They have to soon, because if they don't, they're going to get punches and it could ruin their race.
I could, but the predicted pit stop strategy did say lap 11 to 12, so I don't think the soft tires are in puncture territory yet, although they might be getting there, though. But looking at it, James is managing to stay with Jan at the moment. Ooh, James! He's barely managed to save that out of the wall. He was actually out on the grass there. But he's lost DRS on Jan though, so...
I think he's coming into the pits because he's got the mechanic symbol on his dash. I think that means his pit window is open. No,
and Adam Corrigan dives into the pit. Patrick continues.
5 seconds.
No.
Oh, that's a shame for Adam, that.
Well, he's not the first one who's gotten that today.
I think he's like the 5th. As Billy's in 5th now on the mediums. He's doing a recovery drive after the lap 1 incident, and surprisingly he didn't get wing damage, but I've got to say the gap between first and second stabilised to 5.5 to 5.6 seconds at the moment.
We can see Brandon also right on the rear of... well, that is Adam Corrigan, who's just come out of the pit, so I doubt that he's going to stay with him now, with Adam on his fresh tires.
Well, especially when Brandon's actually in AI and he's actually not here as well.
Well, I did not notice that. Nonetheless, though, Adam on his medium tires has lost time. He's almost 2 seconds behind Louis Quinlan, who's done the undercut on him. And he's also ended up behind Kieran Spears, so Adam's got some work to do here, and not gonna lie, it looks like James and both Patrick then might have some work to do later on too, as we see that Louis Vassman is pitting, his teammate is not pitting. Patrick is also pitting though. But nonetheless, we're following Adam here as he's following Kieran through Parabolica to go on to the long straight. He would ideally, he should be passing Kieran already now to try and catch up to the others. However, we can see actually Patrick coming out of the pit there, so he's behind. And Lewis is of course ahead actually. It's James that stayed out in the end, so...
Adam makes move now on Kieran round the outside through turn 3. Very easy move there with that ERS overtake and the straight line speed and the low downforce patch that Alpha has, as his next switch will be Louis, who's just ahead of him, 1.3 seconds at the moment.
I will have to say though that Jan Sammer in the lead here now on his mediums, but James is almost managing to keep up with him. He is out of DRS range, but he's keeping that gap around 1.4 seconds, so the softs doesn't look like they're completely dead yet. However, James goes into the pit, does not pick up a speeding penalty.
It'll be actually interesting where he comes out in the pits, and
it will be, as we're following the battle for, I'm not quite sure what it is net, but it is the battle for 5th at the moment. Louis Quinlan ahead of Adam Corrigan. We have Kieran Spears almost in that battle too. We can see James coming out in between. Is he gonna be behind Kieran? He will be. Kieran locks up a little into turn 1, trying to brake late to make sure he stays ahead, but James then comes out in 7th place, and he's still ahead of Patrick then.
is the case, as Lewis actually gained on Jan, I believe, or Sama in the Mercedes, now 16.6 seconds.
Well, on those
fresh
fresh mediums,
have
he
got to work.
should be gaining.
Those mediums shouldn't be dead yet. They should still have a lot of life. Oh, actually, he's made a mistake to Ascari. Oh, and Sigmund's out.
Ronan Connolly is out, and where is it? It's in Ascari. Well, he wasn't the first one in Ascari today, at least.
Oh, Louis almost loses it through Ascari as well, even on the yellows.
And look at this, then Adam Corrigan trying to now. He's going to try to make an overtake on Louis Quinlan this time, and we can see they're both fairly low on ERS. Not the easiest track to save your ERS on here, Jared.
Well, it's just basically pedal to the metal, really. There's hardly any braking zones, so...
True. Nonetheless, though, heading down into turn 1, we can see Adam Corrigan closing that gap on Louis, getting forced to the outside. Louis is going to try to outbrake him, and he's managed to stay ahead for now. Ooh, as Adam has a small back end loss.
Adam's round.
Oh, and that is almost in the wall. He's spun around, but he's at least managed to keep away from getting damage.
You know what this means, Sondre? Bottle from the Adam.
Oh, I do believe it's a bottle. Nonetheless, though, we're gonna head back to the fight for this 4th place at the moment. We have Louis now ahead of Kieran and James. James getting very close to the rear of Kieran. We also have a small battle further down the field between Adrian and Shane, it looks like. However, Adrian on his old medium tire still should struggle to keep up with Shane. As we can see, these 3 cars heading for Parabolica. And right now, the gap between Jan Sammer and Louis Wasman should be about 15, almost 16 seconds. But look at this though, Kieran Spears to the outside in turn 1.
No!
James, has he braked too late there?
On my screen, he just misjudged where Kieran was going, tried to look for a gap, and just unfortunately did a J on Ash in Silverstone in the 2019 game.
Well, at least Louis is benefiting from this, as he's gotten a little bit of a gap to the others now. However, Kieran does not have wing damage. James is really the most unlucky here, as he's gotten wing damage, and at least he did let Kieran get away and didn't take away that position from him. But still unlucky though.
No, Kieran, that'll definitely be investigated, as he usually does report stuff, so it is a shame to see James get that damage and make that mistake, especially as he did very well last weekend, and it doesn't look like a podium is on the cards for him this weekend at the moment, unless there is a
well, it was on the cards, but I don't think it is anymore now. However, right now we're following Adrian, who's trying to fight back against Shane here. Shane on a much fresher set of mediums than Adrian though. Adrian keeping that, looking very good through Ascari there.
Is he lagging for you? Because for me he is.
He is not.
That's just me.
Jared's internet down the drain as usual.
Agreed.
Unless though this is the only battle we have right now. Well, the closest battle at least. I can see that Patrick is inside the DRS on Louis. However, he's a little further behind than Adrian is. Adrian though has a lot of overtake to use right now actually. For some reason he isn't using it though, but looking at it, Patrick is getting closer to Louis. Louis loses it a little on the exit of Ascari there. Now Louis and Patrick heading towards Parabolica, and then after that the long start finish straight. Louis taking a slightly wider line than Patrick, and Patrick is closing in now, trying to push as much as possible. And look at this, he is catching Quinlan, he's going for the outside. Quinlan takes the inside. Quinlan is going to try to break later. He manages to keep his position once again. But for how many laps is he gonna be able to keep that position though, Jared?
Oh no, I haven't really had that much experience with Louis with his racing, but Louis has had experience in IRL, so the experience at the moment is helping against the racing point.
Oh, and look at this. Patrick, is he really? He's gonna back out of it for a moment. I thought he was actually gonna push for an overtake into Lesmo 1. On the other hand though, I have quite a lot of experience racing against Louis in the past, Jared, and I can tell you he's a tough but fair racer usually. So you're not gonna get let pass, but he's not gonna try to take you out either. But he's gonna fight for it.
As he gets a good better exit than the race point of Patrick, as he's already defending and moves back to the racing line, probably to break the tour.
Well, let's see now, heading out of Parabolica one more time. Can Louis defend down into turn 1 this time? We can see that he goes defensive. Patrick on the outside. I think Patrick might have the move this time. He breaks both of them, locks up a little, trying to outbreak each other, but Patrick has taken the position away from Louis and moves up into P4.
It's very good to see, especially for the reserve in his debut race. Already. Oh, is Louis doing a late lunge almost there in the next chicane, and that didn't work out. He lost a lot of time. Very cheeky. It's actually now his second.
As I can see that Summer, as you mentioned, got his second pen there. Could end up being a crucial pen. However, he's almost 16 seconds ahead of Louis Wassman still, though, and he will have the better tire, the quicker tires.
Pits.
Towards the end, as he pits already. That's quite an early pit stop for the softs, isn't it?
Well, we've seen the guys only do 10 laps with full fuel, so he's going to be on a less fuel, so I think he could do at least 11 to 12. As Lee will jump him or not.
He will, and it's all up to Jan now. If he can push and catch enough on Lewis to actually make an overtake for it later on. As we can see, Adam Corrigan getting quite close to Jamie here on the start-finish straight, going down to turn 1. Adam takes the inside line. Jamie stays on the outside line. Jamie is going to try to break later though and keep his position. It looks like he might have tried. Ooh, and he might have actually pushed Adam out on the grass there. Or not the grass, the gravel actually. And we can see that.
Oh, we've seen an incident here before. Very close between them two. Almost touched down. He almost did an Eric and Cameron Young from IRL F1.
Back into season 7. You're on about now, Jared. However, though, Will made a move. He got past, and now he's already attacking Jamie into Ascari. Of course, with those soft tires, he could have a DRS failure, actually, to be honest. He didn't use his DRS at least. He could have also just not used it because he doesn't want to make the overtake before the start-finish straight to make sure he's not getting overtaken back. That, I really can't say, but look at this though. Jamie goes a little wide in Parabolica, and it's going to be a very easy move for Villadon as he heads down the start-finish straight. He does apply his DRS now, so he did just wait for it. Now Adam though, can Adam keep Jamie behind him still? It looks like it. And look at the time between Louis Wassman and Jan Samer. Jared, it's going down, but the question is if it's gonna go down quick enough, because those softs are gonna fall off at the end.
Yeah, and also with the penalties the Merc has got as the driver, he's going to have to also pull a gap, so he's going to have
True.
to pick up the pace a little bit more. As Adrian sets the new fast lap with a 121.786, and Paco has left you a nice message in the chat there for you, Sandra.
Well, we're gonna ignore that then, just for fun. Nonetheless, Louis Quinlan trying to get past Patrick again. However, Quinlan out of ERS almost. He's low on fuel too, so he can't really push to make an overtake here. As Louis Quinlan actually pits again. That's an odd strategy.
Oh, James is out. And there's a VSC, so actually the strategy what Louis just pulled off isn't going to lose him that much time.
Well, it's still going to lose him a lot of time, but it's going to lose him less time than it would have.
Yeah, he lost his right front tyre straight into the barrier there. And we only have 12 drivers remaining.
Unlucky for James though, as we can see that Jamie's also pitting. Has Sandra had a beer already?
I'll tell you guys, he's on his 20th.
Not 20th. Not the first either, but not 20th. As the VSC is still out, as we're waiting on it to disappear so we can get going with the racing again, and there it goes. We get green flags, and it's 6 laps until the end between for Jan Sammer to try and catch Louis Wassman, and right now it looks like he's gotten a much better safety car restart there, Jared.
Yeah, getting a lot of time now, already 3.4 seconds, it was 4.1, and he's really charging.
Indeed.
But he needs to careful with his ERS management, because Lewis has got 65%, and has only got 24, so he's going to have to be very smart with his ERS, the closing stage of this race.
As we see more people actually pitting now at the end, Jared. It's kind of weird to look at here.
Yeah, Kieran started on the mediums, pitted for another set of mediums, so for some reason he did a 2-stop.
Interesting. However, we're gonna move towards the front of the field, or actually Anton is getting very close to Shane here. Shane, who's also right outside of DRS on Louis Quinlan. However, going down towards Ascari, can Anton get close enough to make a move? I don't think this is going to be a good move to make. He's going to stay behind for now. And look at Sammer, Jared, he's 1.5 seconds away from Lewis now.
Gap's closing, and he'll be striking it since I believe next lap.
As we can see that Shane going defensive into Parabolica. However, he gets a fairly decent exit too. But I don't think he should be able to defend from Anton here. Going down to turn 1, Anton is having that DRS open. He doesn't have a lot of ERS to play with though, and he actually has to stay behind for now. As they now head through Curva Grande, and Anton is gonna have to stay behind.
Oh no!
Oh, as Sammer is out!
And there's a safety car.
Oh, and this and Louis Quinlan. And also actually...
Ooh. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh my god, his car is flipped!
Yeah.
He's flipped out of Ascari. And we can see that Louis Wassman, he goes into the pit to get on a fresh set of soft tires. I will assume that Patrick is gonna do the same. He does. And Villa will be the first driver who will probably stay out, as he... Is he also going? He's also going
Yeah,
into
he's looking
pit.
for softs.
Adam Corrigan goes into pit. What about Louis Quinlan? Is he gonna go into pit? He has just pitted over to those soft tires, but Louis Bossman is already out. Louis does not pit though, and he will be in P2, P3 actually. Or has he actually managed?
He's just got P2.
He has just got it, because of course Patrick is still on the pit exit there technically, so he's back up into P2 then.
Can't believe it though, we have a car flipped over in a Scari.
I mean, that's not a small crash, Jared. It's not like he's gone right into the wall or something. He's gone right into the wall, flipped out of it, and ended up on his roof. Probably.
Although Louis is looking very good for podium position. I can't believe I'm saying this actually. Since his return, I actually wasn't expecting him to get a podium near to the end of the season. But he may already beat that and get a podium today. Experience indeed. He could even win this race surprisingly if Louis DNF. So massive pens he gets or something.
Well, I remember that a lot of drivers have gotten 5 seconds going into the pit. I do not think Lewis is one of them, though. I don't think he's sped into the pit. Not sure about Louis, but it's too hard to tell. We're just gonna have to wait and see. As we still have 12 drivers left in the race. Technically 11 if Brandon's car is AI.
Yeah, that will be an issue for some of the drivers if they don't get a safety car in time. As I've had that where the AI has been really slow. Shane gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting.
Ah.
Did he actually fully blow, like, cut the corner, or was that
I do not know.
That if he may send that. Oh, watch out, Shane! You don't want to hit Anton in the mark.
And as we're on lap 24, I believe the safety car will go in on this lap, which can be unlucky for some drivers who still hasn't caught up to the safety car queue. Those drivers being Brandon's AI, but also Adrian and Ivan King, as apparently some drivers are switching positions.
Yeah, I have a weird feeling the safety car restarts can get a bit messy from 3rd place all the way to 7th. They're getting a bit, not too close I'd say, but getting very close to the rear end or the gearboxes of the other cars.
Could be, however, doesn't
Voice
look
sound
like
effect
the
there.
safety car is going in on this lap actually. Now we're gonna get one more lap with the safety car in this lap, and that is very late. But then Lewis is gonna back down the field through Parabolica here, or is he gonna go already? Actually, he is gone.
No, he hasn't. Oh, another crash! Massive crash. There's
what
the
has happened?
I know what's happened. It's because he set off and safety car didn't go in, and it slowed him down, and it's just caused a snail effect. And now Anton is trying to overtake Adam around the outside of turn 2. Gets a good exit. Oh, and there's another crash. Salmon Pike and Adam coming to blow. Shane moves up to 6th. Adrian moves to 7th. And now Shane moves up to 5th place. Where's the speed come from Shane, Sondre? He's now in 5th.
Well, fresh tires. He's improved from last season, and yeah, I don't know. Nonetheless, though, Louis Wassman has managed to break DRS with the cars behind, so he could be on for his second win of the season then.
As Adam's got end plate damage on the left side. And let's have a look at Kieran's damage if it will show me. Because I know he spun it. Looks like
now coming out of Ascari, we can see that Louis Quinlan is back into DRS on Louis Wassman. Patrick is inside DRS on Louis Quinlan. Louis has just dropped out of DRS on Wassman, and that could be crucial. However, actually thinking about it, DRS won't be won't be active before the last lap, so it doesn't actually matter that much at the moment.
First lap's currently held by the retired Mercedes in 13th with 20.4. If I was Kieran, I would have pitted, got a new set of softs, and tried to go for fastest lap because he's got major front wing damage.
Ooh, a lock up from Louis Quinlan there. Quinlan, who's now gonna have to defend from Patrick on the last lap without DRS. As Louis is out in the gravel and he's lost it. And he's lost second and third place to Patrick and Anton here.
Oh, there's yellows behind. Is that Adam? It is Adam. He made a mistake.
Oh, as Louis loses it again. And what is it? What has happened with Louis as he lost it out of Ascari?
I think the pressure's got to him.
Oh, you know, I think you could be right there, Jared.
With the Ferrari signed him a deal.
Nonetheless, though, final lap of the race. Louis Wassman in a commanding 2.2 lead ahead of Patrick, his fellow countryman. Then we have Anton Rioja in third place before Jamie is in fourth. Jamie, who did not look like he was going to end up in fourth place earlier on in the race, Jared.
He didn't, but he still might not get it. Vil is on a mission right now. He's just taking over Shane. We're on the last lap. Anything goes. You know, there's enough straights to make a move as he's getting closer and closer now. 3.5 tenths. Could make the move on the final corner possibly.
Could be. He's not going to make it.
Oh, he might.
Oh, and look at this. He's going to try for it in Ascari as they've actually ghosted.
Oh, and Jamie's bottom made a mistake there.
Interesting. Nonetheless, though, we're going to head to Louis Wassman as he's heading around Parabolica to take his second win of the season. The second win in a row, too, as he crosses the line. And then Patrick will follow him in second, and Anton in third, and that third is going to end up being Will's third. Then Ivan King up to fourth in the end, Jared. Anton down to fifth, then Jamie into sixth, Shane in seventh. Well, Brandon's AI car does not count, so still Shane in seventh, and Adrian in eighth, then Louis in ninth, and or maybe not. We're gonna have to wait. The AI car gets driver of the day. Interesting. As Louis Wassman goes on to the top step of the podium for the second time this season in 2 races. However, though, not joined by his teammate on the podium this time.
That was a shame by both racer points and possibly championship rival of Vil in third.
You can see some people being angry about the restart. Nonetheless, we can see that Louis Wassman also grabbed the fastest lap in the end, taking a grand slam here today with pole position, fastest lap and race win. Then we have Patrick in second, then Villa in third, before we have Ivan King, who gets up into a shocking fourth in the end after starting 12th and not looking like he would end up there before the safety car. Then Anton in fifth, Jamie in sixth, and not Brandon, but Shane in seventh, Adam in eighth, then Adrian in ninth, and Louis Quinlan in 10th. Kieran, unfortunately, in 11th in the end. Then we have Jan Sammer, James, Ronan, Thomas Mumford, Ross, and Ryan all getting a DNF today.
And Brandon getting a DNS.
And, well, a DNF. Wait, DNS or DNF?
Good question, actually, because he did qualify, but he'd like that. I'd say DNS.
Interesting.
I don't know. Because quality you don't get points, the race you get points, so.
But if you can get the top 3 for interviews, then Jared, I can suggest them if you want that. True. Let's see then. So it was Lewis, and it was Patrick. Was Villa on the podium? Are you sure about that? You're right, my bad. Jamie, Stuart's going to be busy tonight.
Yeah.
Busy tomorrow night then. But let's see, we have Patrick here at least. Are we gonna get first or third place in though? There we have first place, Lewis 2. Does not appear that we're getting third place in for interviews then, Jared, so you can start off with second place. That would be Patrick.
Well, Patrick, is your voice on allowed to be shared?
I think so, it must be.
Well then, congratulations, I believe, on second place on your debut race for IRL. You did very good. Did not get a lot of penalties, you only got one penalty in the end. How do you think your race went from your point of view?
Well, it was very sweaty, I think. It was very unexpected because I've not trained for this, and yes, I'm happy.
I can see that. Well, another thing as well, you actually technically beating your teammates there. I know you're a reserve of Salmon Pike. Do you think with this pace, and hopefully you get another chance to race in the races to come, do you think you can keep this pace up through the whole season and possibly challenge Lewis for a title fight late in the season?
Well, I think the pace could be good for the season, but I don't think that I can fight with Luis, because we are in the same esports league in IRL, and where he is much quicker than I.
Yeah, I like you being honest, of course. And I've got to say, both of you did very well today. But Sanjay, before I ask him the final question, have you got any questions to ask our second place driver?
I do not believe I have right now. Well, I have one. It's been a lot of people from what I've seen right now who's not too happy about the safety car restart, but like how was it for you? Like how was your point of view of it?
For me, I will say that it's not my fault because I have to react to the cars ahead, and also it's not Louis' fault because he was braked by the game. He set me in the party. So it was, in my opinion, in my point of view, it was the fault of Codemasters.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time Cody does something like that, to be fair. But that was the only question I had for that matter. Congratulations on your second place today.
Thank you.
Okay then, well, Patrick, Spa is the next track, and there's a chance you will be racing that. With practice and a bit more sweating, as you said, do you think you could possibly get another podium, possibly a win, or could points just be on the cards?
A win is for me not possible, I think, if Luis is also in the race. So, well, I think Belgium is a very good track for me. I like this. And I hope I can race. It's not sure because I'm a reserve driver. But I hope so.
Okay then. Well, congratulations yet again on second place, and very good race on your debut race as well as a reserve as well for IRL. And hopefully we do see you at Spa. And Sanjay, if you want to ask our race winner the next questions for the interview.
Well, Lewis, I feel like it's not too long since we were here last time, but second race of the season, second win of the season, and a grand slam nonetheless.
Yeah, it
Fastest
was
lap,
quite
everything.
Yes, that's quite cool. I like it. So I just only didn't let every lap. So next time I have to work on that. No, it was a great race. ILRT Dashley was quite fast, but every time I asked about his penalties, he was like having 12 seconds after 20 laps, and I didn't even have a warning. I got my first warning in the last lap in Ascari, so that really wasn't my problem today. Yeah, it went pretty good. I was in a party with Patrick, and when I crossed the line, I was like, yes, and he was literally exploding because of his the podium. I mean, I thought I was very delighted to win the race, but he was, yeah.
Well, you gotta remember it was his debut race too, Lewis. So
yeah,
first race to end on the podium. That's a great feeling. But nonetheless, though, back to you, and obviously picking up pretty much everything that race. You got the wing, you got pole, you got the fastest lap. But that safety car came out pretty late, though. Did you hesitate when you went into the pit there, or were you sure about it?
Well, when I saw a safety car, I was pretty far ahead, so I thought if I would pit and the others wouldn't pit. I remember Australia, first race of last season. I was staying out on hard, and then I got dropped back to third. After I got pole, and I remember the last laps on the old tires were pretty bad, and they were flying past me. I remember, and then I was like, okay, if the others don't pit, I would fly past them, so I decided to pit, and I still emerged in P1, so I was pretty happy with the safety car because it secured me the fastest lap, so it was actually quite good.
True. Nonetheless, though, the safety car restart was a little rocky, you can say. Like, was it that
I
you
had
caught the safety car and had to slow down because of it, or?
Yeah, I was on 80 degrees tires because I didn't thought the safety car would come in this lap. And then I heard it comes in the middle of the last corner. So I was trying everything to get heat into the tires. And then pretty early I started to accelerate, full throttle down, and then the game just slows me down. And I was like, why do you tell me 3 seconds before the safety car comes in that the safety car comes in, and then I don't even am allowed to speed. So yeah, pretty unlucky for the cars behind, which crashed because of that. But I just can say that it wasn't really my fault.
Well, I
It was
do.
more the game.
Do you know how it
Again.
is? I've seen that happens many times before too, unfortunately. But still, though, then heading on to next week, we're going to Belgium. The closest thing you can call a home race this season, as there is no Germany on the calendar.
Yeah.
How are you feeling for that track then?
Yeah, it's actually quite good, nice track to me. I got my first IRL podium there in 2 seasons ago. So nice track. I'm happy that we're driving there. It's in a 11 race calendar, so I'm looking forward to it, and maybe win again.
So you're putting all the pressure on yourself to make it 3 in a row now.
Yes. I actually have to say that it was the first time ever that I, in any league, had 2 wins in a row. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations on that.
It's making me happy. Yes, thank you.
Any questions from you, Jared?
No, I think you both actually covered it all again. But just congratulations again on your second win, and the first for F4 to have a driver win 2 races in a row, and also get the fast lap and last lap, which was actually good to see there for you. And congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, with that then, I'm just gonna say congratulations on the win today, Lewis, and good luck for next week.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll hear again.
Well, you never know. You never know. We'll definitely be here. You'll have to get on the podium to be here, but that can happen.
Yeah, pace-wise, I think I'm definitely in the top 3, but you don't know what happens in the race. Like maybe like today, the safety car comes out late, and I have 20 seconds time penalty, and then I'm not maybe even finishing the point. So
true.
Yeah.
True. I guess we'll just have to wait and see till next week.
Yeah.
But with that, then, anything more you'd like to add for the viewers, Jared?
Well, the only thing I can add is if you guys want to tune in for some more awesome IRL content, join for the amazing duo comms of Kevin Harrison and Jared Rosby for IRL F1 tomorrow, with F2 hopefully with Jack Yates returning with Paco Suarez, and F3 and F5 with Lance LeBron and F3, and F5 Felix Negua and JF Warrior.
And of course, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, then hit that notification button if you want to not miss any races at all. Nonetheless, this has been IRL Season 8 F4 Round to Italy. It ended up being won by Louis Wassmann himself, and actually Patrick making it a German 1-2 today. But nonetheless, we'll see you later. Good night.
Good night.